This is P and Charles' new channel, and this is about spirituality, mental growth, and what do you think spirituality is?
Spirituality. Um, it's it's what you believe in.
All right, so I think spirituality is a bunch of different things. Spirituality, for one, it all starts with the mind. Um,
What mind?
the mind is, mind over like different things. You know what I'm saying? Mind over matter, mind over your circumstance, mind over whatever. You know what I mean? Um, uh, I think that if we have spirituality in our lives, spirituality is all starts with, all right. So people believe in different things. So some people believe in Mother Nature, uh, whatever type of different religions, whether you be of some type of book or somebody else's thoughts, or some people believe in being free minded. Some people believe in also doing the well, I would say some people believe in good and evil, but some people also believe in being in a bad mind frame, to rebel, and some people believe in doing good. Some people also believe in, like, you got paganism versus uh, you know Bible, or I don't know how the people of, like, Islam think, as far as, if they think that the Bible is paganism, or Mother Nature's paganism, or witchcraft is paganism. I don't really know about that. Then you got people who are in, like, occult doctrines. So you got different things, right? So if you have spirituality, that's one. Some people just believe in wisdom. You know what I mean? Like, or they want to open mindedness, new age movement, that type of thing. Just being open to. Some people believe in drugs as, spirituality, psychedelics. Um, um, some people believe in science. So these are different things that we should talk about, and I think that I think that in mental growth would be something of, like, people who think upward um during bad situations. It's not really easy, but some people, sink into depression, or bad mental health. Um, I also have been in that type of state of mind. Um, Searching for spiritual guidance. What do you think is of spiritual guidance?
How are you gonna just say you was in bad mental health and then just like stop talking about it?
Because during spiritual guidance, you have to look at who would I turn to spiritually. Sometimes you turn to people. Sometimes you turn to whatever you believe in God. Sometimes you turn to, uh, just being a different type of mind frame towards other people. Um, some people, like, they gravitate to people when they're in hurt. Some people are misery loves company, uh, and they want to treat the other person bad. Or some people have this. Uh, some people have this, like, way of feeling like, they you used to try to say this to me, like, I feel like I'm entitled, but when you go through certain things, you don't really want to be. Um, you don't want to hurt people when you're down, because you burn bridges. But some people hurt you when you're down. It's like, and it's called insult to injury, or they kick you when you're down, and they just want to make sure that you're not in a good state of mind, because people just either hate you or people love you, and then in that topic, you feel like um, that's where you kind of sort out the sheep from the goats in your life. When you're at your worst. When you're at your worst, when you're at your worst, when you're at your worst, you're like, who can I trust? Who do I have around me? And is God really gonna bring me through this situation? So, that's what guidance is. What about you? What have you gone through that makes you feel like, who's your guide? What do you believe in? What type of spirituality do you believe in? Do you believe in religion? Do you believe in anything that is of?
I believe in everything, and that sums up my spirituality, because I believe in this here and there, like a mixture.
Okay.
A little religion, a little new age, a new, what is it?
What do you like about being in the mixture? What do you gather from it?
And the what?
What do you gather from it?
Gather from everything?
What do you gather from being in a mixture?
So that's what it's called, the mixture?
You just said you like a little bit of mixture.
Yeah, I like a bit of, like, because I can take some stuff from Christianity, I could take some stuff from Buddhism, I could take some stuff from all over. I like that it's my choice, I don't have to be, indoctrinated.
Alright, so you don't like just gathering somebody else's thoughts. You
Right.
like to think for yourself and try everything out. Alright,
Right.
I don't disagree with you. It's called being open-minded. They have different ways of that. One is like, people who are open-minded, for instance, some of them get put into mental institutions. I'm going to tell you that one. And I'm going to tell you why. When someone says, hey, this is not like any type of bad affirmation on you, but this is like, just from what I gather, right? When I started studying like spiritual things, and I would see like people who said, hey, the devil made me do it, Society is so grafted towards evil that when evil sees this type of people, they would actually, what's it called, like outcast them from society. So they give them medication, they put them in mental health organizations, they do all this type of these type of things, because those people may be born with a gift that we don't have, or it could just be mentally unstable and be possessed by other forms of consciousness. And if we don't look at our mistakes, I would feel like certain people will just keep doing that pattern. As far as certain people will start doing, people will start in, people will start doing people will start like having certain issues with other people to get a point across, like, we don't want you exposing the truth. People that hear voices. Some people hear voices. Some people have like those bad what's those things called, like they may see things, or you know what I mean, like delusions. But society's so geared towards saying, oh well, you don't need to be in society. Why is that? Like, why don't they need? But once you go into hurting people or something, I get it. They put them in either jail or mental institution. But uh, you tell the doctor you hear voices, and they want to go section whatever you know what I mean. So that's one. Um, what?
So,
Go ahead.
so people who hear stuff like voices and see stuff, um, that could be considered a gift, but um, what if people like? What are some people's some like? What are they supposed to do if they do hear that stuff? Or like,
I believe before you go to a doctor or any type of mental institution, I would say go to people. This is this could be a channel because people could understand more or less what you hear, and it's all about your mind, your thinking. And we want to get into like different sciences of the body, but science is not always the answer because science can't prove a lot of things after death, and that's what I also gathered. They study things, but they can't prove something after we leave here. And then it's about if they can, is it demonic, is it devilish, or is it dead things? Meaning like just regular dead people. You know what I mean? So I don't actually believe too much all the way into science because science can prove the other side. Like the good book says, you have a body on the other side where you can feel, you have a conscience, and it's eternal. So, but a lot of people believe in heaven and hell. You know what I mean? So, I don't actually think about. Um, I don't actually like gravitate so much to science's answer because science is also, sacred knowledge of something that could be like the devil. Um, in my aspect, but I just feel like uh like to me like they can actually this channel could be something where you can actually speak to people and not of any type of charge or any type of weirdness, but we'll get into that later. But it's just more or less like uh people who understand it and can actually send you somewhere or send you some type of help because when you go to these places all they do is give you medication and medication can also be of evil. you know um I can also vouch for that. And I don't know. I just feel like opening your mind is not always good. They talk about different things like the pineal gland, and they also have experiments in different communities where they do the what's they call it? Like when you go to the mental institution, they would shock your brain, and what's called electroshock therapy. And I used to think about this. So I'm like, why would you do electroshock therapy? We have an electrical chair that actually kills, convicted felons. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing electrical shock therapy? I don't actually understand that part. But I, obviously, I have my own opinion about that. And you look in the Bible, they talk about Satan fell as lightning, or you've seen the devil fall as lightning. Something in that aspect. And I'm like, well, why are y'all shocking people? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really make sense to me. So things like that things like that are also topics that we can go into each day um, and spend time on. Or I also have the movie theory. Like those are something that each movie I see it always has some underlying meaning. And when you have like an open-minded uh, mind, you see things that other people don't see. That's something that's not really like recommended. But I don't want to be facetious about that. So, what is religion to you?
Religion,
Yeah.
doctrine.
What is doctrine?
What is that? Like one-minded. Everybody believing in white Jesus.
Why do you say white Jesus?
Because we always brought up on white Jesus. Everybody was brought up on white Jesus. I don't think anyone really. Well, I don't think we were aware.
We don't
When
believe.
you was younger, did you knew that Jesus was black? Did you?
When I was younger, did I believe that Jesus was black? No. But I used to actually shun or shame the black Jesus that they would put up. Like, oh, black Jesus. I'm like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see these people. So when I look at
Oh wow.
when I look at white Jesus, I don't actually think Jesus was white, because actually if you look at the Bible, it actually tells differently. It says he was actually of a black or bronze color, or what we would call black people color. He wasn't of a, what we would call today a white person. But if you study the history of the Shem lineage and Ham lineage, uh, Shem and Ham, they always were not more close to each other. Japheth was of the what you would call the Eurasia or Europe um area. Shem more or less in the what we call Middle East or Middle East Asia, and then you have Ham being more like of the Egypt and Iraq, all those like of the southern hemisphere type of look. But I don't believe that Jesus was white.
So
it's
what?
just-
Wait, but so what is religion to you?
um,
Before you go off into the next topic.
Jesus, what is Jesus?
No, what is religion?
Oh, I'm
to
sorry.
you?
Religion is some of it's control. Some
Yeah.
of it's about keeping people low, and some of it's about just what you believe. But if you're not really into like, um, if you don't learn, I mean, some of it's just ritualistic. If you read, so all right, so if you read the book, if you read the Bible, they have people who call it either Gnostic gospels or just you have a like straightforwardness where like you're like more of a closed mind and you just accept it as just being good and not doing too much bad. And then you have some people who hate God and the Bible, so and they worship the hidden things in the Bible, which goes more into like probably some of the rituals. But then you have like some of the ritualistic stuff is of the New Testament. The Old Testament is not really worshipped today, but then again, we don't really know that because people in the Old Testament are what we call today Israel. So Israel worships Torah more or less, or some of them just don't believe in their own, their own beliefs that much. Is what I heard. I don't know if that's true. Um, and then you get into Jewish mysticism, which is like a whole different other category. So, all right, but that religion can be a control to keep people believing in something higher when they're being stepped on in communities, or religion can also be about the truth. So it all depends on what you believe. And everybody's searching for who is really of the true, um, who has the true gospel. You know what I mean? Who has the truth. And whatever the truth is, it gets thrown down because whatever evil is that runs the earth, it doesn't want people to know the truth. So that's the other part. You have Zionism, you have different things. So you have what is spiritualism to you? So you have what is religion, what is spiritualism?
Spiritualism. Journalistic. Content. Um, I think I'm spiritual. I think I'm spiritual because I believe in doing like the right thing, and I have some mixed religion, like faith. I have faith in things, and I believe in Jesus, but not in the way I think like everybody believes in Jesus. So I believe that I'm spiritual because I believe to like what you do will come back to you. Like what is it? What is it?
Karma.
Yeah.
Alright,
Like
that's universalism,
what you
sort of.
do, what you do to others will come back to you, or what you put out will come back to you. So I feel like that makes me spiritual because what you put out will come back to you eventually.
What you put out, I believe in that also. I mean, every religion I would believe has some type of what goes around comes around. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Right. So if we don't, I mean, because everyone wants to have like a seek justice. Because if not, then tyranny will just run around. And you know, tyranny is not a well, it's a subject in most countries, but usually it's not over here because people are complacent. But if they study their government and they say, hey, some things are not right, and if you just don't mention it and you get complacent, then you become a zombie. And we see all these dumbass zombie movies, and it's like our government, our television, everything tells us everything is just we don't accept it, and that's just how I feel most of the time because we don't have um we just don't have a lot of like reasons to you know not believe what they tell us. I mean, they say magic is them putting things right in front of you, right? And they say right in plain sight, and we'll get into that too. There's a bunch of different things out here, that symbols, all type of stuff. So, spiritualism, most people just believe in thinking upward, praying to something higher, maybe.
Yeah.
Thinking outside of their realms of normal, um, looking at all the things around them. Some people believe in philosophy. Uh, it's all about what y'all believe. Me personally, I grew up off Bible, so that's where Church of Christ, uh, Church of Christ in Roxbury. So um, my father, I think, was Catholic, and my son also was a Catholic on his side of things, but um, do you have any church background?
What is that?
You have any church background?
Yeah. I have some church background.
Huh?
I say, yeah, I have church background.
All right. So, um, what do you believe as far as church?
I like church, but I really didn't know too much about like the meaning of church and all that stuff until me and you started talking about it. Like the body of the church is supposed to be Christ. And yeah, I really didn't know that meaning of it. I just thought like church was church. Like we go to church, we go praise God in church, and yeah. But I really didn't know too much of the meaning about church until you told me about church.
Um, yeah, church is it's actually the Bible has levels. Is one thing I see, but a lot of people don't see that. Some people do, some people don't. It has a lot of different levels of like some type of like I call it levels, but it's like um I call it like some hidden things, some mysterious things, and like things like people really don't understand or comprehend until they read the whole thing and they're like, oh, I see this part, and everything matches.
So it's
So
like a
far,
portal.
a portal, a puzzle, and it also like the so people who are like in witchcraft or something like that, they may not like the Bible. But then you have a Gnostic gospel, which is like something that's like more like in like sexual perversions, which you can read it that way as well.
Or
Um,
like a love story or something.
sort of. But it gets perverse because of the words. And remember, the word is God. So the way black people speak,
Yeah.
if you read it a certain way, you'll be like, oh, I see what they're saying. And then there's another way to read it where you're like a child in mind, which God says, read it like a child. But then after a while, he'll show you different things, but he doesn't want you to get like uh, flipped into some type of like way of thinking of like you know, I'm not being funny with this, but you'll go too far with trying to go into like wisdom and knowledge about what he's saying, and then the devil's there to say, well, and then you just end up reading a certain way. So there's a ritual part of the Bible that we see, and a lot of it's about um, countering witchcraft or any type of craft that is not of God but of some type of paganism is what they would say, right? So, but then you have counterparts like Islam or Judaism, or I don't know how they call it, so Judaism, but Torah. Uh, they don't believe in the New Testament, more or less. They may study it, but they don't really gravitate to it. Some of them. Yeah, you have those differences. Uh, discerning good or bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What is what to you is mind control?
What to me is mind control? Well, I was thinking, I I was thinking before you went into that paganism is more, I would say it's more popular than religion and everything because the world runs off of paganism. So
You know what I noticed?
that's mind control. What?
Paganism, like you said, is because it's more popular. And this is the type of theory where people gotta like kind of look at something. The Bible strictly states, right, that if God loves you, that means the world is not for you. So if paganism is like the number one thing that people are going after, and in all type of cult doctrines of secret teachings and all this type of stuff, right? And people hate Christianity. Wouldn't that be more of God saying my word is more real than theirs? Because if God has the spiritual and He's more spiritual than He is fleshful, and flesh just loves paganism because of emotion, and this is another thing I learned about emotion and energy, but that's just my theory versus a lot of people, because emotions are more connected to flesh than they are spiritual, and in God's eyes, because they do have spirits, but these spirits of emotion are not really of God's side, because everything has a counterpart with God. So God says, hey, I'm number one. Boom. Now I got all this different stuff out here with emotions and how people feel, and people go for pleasure more than to suffer. And God is of suffering this part, so you get the next part, which is eternal. But it's of His way. And some people choose to say, hey, I don't really love this life. I'd rather be of the next portion and have eternity. And some people look like, hey, whatever, I'll take this life and go with the the version of me getting eternal damnation, right? Those are the things that people think about. And this is what I used to grow up off of, because it used to scare the hell out of me. And I just like, damn, and think about it. And once I knew what forever is, and think about forever and ever and ever and ever. And, we have ages and time in here. We don't have time on the next side. You know what I'm saying? Time is not even an essence. It's like non-existent. So, there's no age, there's no anything. It's just there. So, you know what I mean? And just suffering all day. And I used to actually get spooked by it, which is why I started trying to go to church. But some people think that it's just a mind control to keep people complacent and to get tread upon and just think upward. Like, if they don't have something to think upward, they will revolt. And that's the other part about people who think in like people who are living like rough neighborhoods and no money conditions and stuff like that. So, discerning of good or bad. What is good to you? What are the bad things to you? Just anything off the top of your mind.
What is good to me? Good to me is doing the right thing when no one's looking. Bad to me is doing the wrong thing when no one's looking. What is good to you? What is good to you?
What are you saying?
I say good to me is doing the right thing when no one is looking. Bad
like what?
To me
like
is
what?
Like what?
I mean, just anything. Like, what do you want to think about? Like, what is
having
doing
loyalty, having integrity.
Do you have loyalty? I mean, who are you loyal to? So who are you loyal to, and why?
Who am I loyal to? Well, for starters, I'm loyal to myself, because I can't be loyal to anyone if I can't be loyal to myself. And being loyal to myself means being true to myself. So, and then after being loyal to myself, then I'm loyal to my closest loved ones, my children, my husband. My family.
All right. So, discerning of good or bad is what is like. You think so? That's it for you, for discerning what's bad to you. What is your meaning of good or bad?
I just told you.
Or for bad things.
Doing the wrong thing when no one's looking.
Oh, so doing the right thing when no one's looking, and doing the wrong thing when no one's looking. But what about if someone thinks it's the wrong thing, but you're doing something good in your eyesight?
Say that again.
What about doing the right thing in your eyesight, but if I see it and I say, hey, this is wrong, but you have a justifiable reason? This is
I would
what
be willing
God
to
would
listen to
God would always have to judge and say that, well, in your eyesight is bad, but in mine's it may be a good thing.
But I would be open to understand where you're coming from or understand why it's bad. Especially if I'm thinking that it's good and you're thinking that it's bad, I would be open to understand. I would be willing to understand from your point of view why you consider it bad.
Words and symbols. Okay. So, words and symbols, right? You believe witchcraft is words. Me and you talked about this, right? I believe that um, witch, witchcraft is words, but I would say God is a word. So why do you think witchcraft is words?
Because
Could it be that whatever Wiccans or anyone who is of the craft would be
witchcraft
worshiping?
is words, because
Huh?
that's all we have is our words anyway.
So what is it about God being the word? So that isn't that like a manipulation of good and bad? You don't think so?
It's a manipulation from God.
A manipulation saying that if God says, "Hey, I'm the word," God is the word, and me, what I say goes. Frequency, sound, hearing, thought, whatever it is, right? It's all of me saying. Cause some people talk in their mind, some people talk out loud, right? So if I say, "Hey, I'm gonna sit here," uh,
Hello. Hello.
all right, uh, um,
You asked me who was I loyal to, right? You asked me who was I loyal to.
I think I think
Maybe I
that
skipped it.
we had that topic, but
What? What?
words and symbols. All right, go ahead. You said something about good or bad. Go ahead. My fault.
No, you asked me who was I loyal to.
Yeah, who you loyal to?
I said I was loyal to myself. And I
That's it.
I'm loyal to myself first because I have to be true to myself first in order to be loyal to anyone. So with that being said, since I'm loyal to myself, I'm loyal to my closest loved ones, I said. And I said my closest loved ones would be my children and my husband that's not listening.
You call me a husband? That's not listening, or do you have someone else that's your husband?
Yes, I'm talking to you. Jesus. Are you not?
Why you say I'm not listening?
Are you not?
I am listening.
Well, you would have heard me the first time.
To say what?
What I said.
What you said about what? What?
See? You're not listening.
What do you mean? What? That's what I'm like. What are you talking about? What part? No, which part are you talking about? I didn't hear you.
You said, who are you loyal to?
Right.
And then I said, first, it would be myself. Because I have to be true to myself.
Okay.
Yes.
And then.
And then I said it would be my closest loved ones. So I would have loyalty to.
Right. You said your family.
Yes.
You didn't say me at all.
Yes, I did.
What did you say?
What?
So you said me. You said me. You're loyal for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah. Well, we are 41 minutes in, so would you like to wrap it up?
We wrap up this session. I feel like we do a closure tomorrow, and we edit it, and then I can do the little graph through the app.
Alright, so.
And then I got more topics to talk about.
Alright, but you don't want to, like.
We don't want to put it all in the one video, so I'll just go off of where we left off. So for now, we're going to close this session. We will return tomorrow with more topics to close out the final script of the video, and then edit it and put this up. So again, this is Cha or Sha. How you want to say it?
Cha.
Cha and Sha.
Really?
Just Cha. Yeah, really. Cha or Sha?
Cha.
Cha.
Yes. This is Cha. Cha and P. And thank you for tuning in.
And thank you for tuning in. Cha and P. Alright, we'll be back tomorrow. God bless. Please stop.